What is up people, SK here, and here we are with the Black Ops 7 beta. As always, I am late to the party, but I did not sleep on this one bit. Last week I was pretty much just bashing the beta, and I just said, yeah, I didn't really want to advocate any time to, you know, making a YouTube video and whatnot, especially this one right here, which is 12 minutes long. Seeing as it's my first Black Ops 7 beta upload, I just thought, you know what, let it fly. Of course I've chopped it up quite a bit, but still came about 12 minutes. But like I said, it's the first one, we let it fly. I hope you enjoy this gameplay though. This is a 77 and 25 with that M15 mod O. And still to this day, I don't know if it's mod O in the letter or mod O as in the number. So either way, I say O and we A-OK. We're on Cortex, of course. I do like this map, I'm gonna be honest and say straight up. In the beta anyway, this is definitely the best map. If you disagree, let me know. Of course, that isn't me saying too much though about the map itself. Just depending on who you're playing with, on any map really, you'll have your good times and you'll most certainly have your bad times with the whole EOMM algorithm. But more on that later, as I'm sure you guys already know. But yeah, of course this is just going to be a freestyle one. Got some points here that I want to touch up upon, of course, you know, first impressions and whatnot. Not necessarily diving in too deep to anything, maybe separate commentaries on things I speak of now, we shall see. But first on the list is the feel of the game, how it feels. I'd say, of course, with it being a back-to-back COD from Black Ops 6, it more or less has the same feel, somewhat changed though. And in terms of previous CODs, I'd say overall it gives me a advanced warfare feel / infinite warfare. The next is the movement. We may stick with this one for a minute because I've already made my opinions clear on movement. I'm not really a fan of movement. I don't believe it's a core fundamental of COD. That's being pushed though, I suppose, because of the clientele that Call of Duty has today. Either way, I'm not really one to be with the whole FOMO. I'm not really bothered. I like COD for the way I play it, regardless of what people want to say. And I just take it from there and crack on. Because as long as I can have games like these, like I said, as long as I can still go ham sandwich myself, there's no need to change anything up. I do think in my head though, if there's one thing I should probably change, is my sensitivity. Because many people talk about, oh, I'm a hacker, I'm this, I'm that. Of course, I take it as a compliment because realistically, I just use a low sensitivity and I pretty much have mastered it. Because on COD mainly, from MW2 to 2009, I pretty much have used low sensitivities. It's just what I'm comfortable with, and like I said, I'm at a point where I can master it and do stuff like this, so I don't really care. But I suppose when it comes to movement, people are moving fast in your face. It does irritate me somewhat, the fact that I can't really go up against, even try to compete against it, because I know once they zip off my screen, I pretty much am dead. Like, there has been a few instances where I think a player's come up to me and noticed that I just don't have the sensitivity, and then they'll just do some slidey-widey BS in my face, and then that is the end of that. But that's another commentary for another day, to be fair. Keeping it on the movement though, nothing's really changed. Of course, there's the implementation of the wall bounce, which I will get to. The movement, they did say they'd be toning down the slide, they'll be paying attention to that, looking at it, and apparently it doesn't seem to be different. I want to say in my head the slide slightly, ever so slightly, feels like it's being slowed, but according to Ace it seems like nothing's actually being done. It's probably more just the fact that they said they would do it, so maybe we've just got that idea, or I've got that idea in my head that it is. Either way though, I don't think anything's being done. I think it should be taken down to the point where it's not a gimmick and something you can easily just win gunfights with, because as I've said in a previous commentary, if it's just a jump, a slide, a drop shot that you're going to engage in through the majority of your gunfights, I personally think there is no skill to that. It's just simply a button being pressed or a combination of buttons to win the gunfight. It's a gunfight, it's called a gunfight for a reason. There's not necessarily any extreme movement that's necessary. Extreme movement doesn't need to be involved for that. You just point and shoot, it's that simple. If you're not paying attention, you've not got the awareness, well, it's just too bad, because I wouldn't even say the movement being utilized as any sort of compensation. But that's just what I think. God knows if they're ever gonna just move movement away. Kinda got caught on this topic, but again, I've got plenty more gameplays to show, so if anything, wherever I go up to here, I'll simply continue on the next video. But I do think that movement should be toned down. But again, it's what people like, so I guess, you know what Activision's like. They'll whore out for anything, so I guess it is what it is. Now, to the wall bounce. Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. I mean, realistically, I've personally come from the Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3 era, and the movement just wasn't for me. As I mentioned here, people just use it as a way to actually cheat death when it comes to this game anyway, and winning gunfights in a easy way. It's awkward for me. It's just another thing that I have to contend with, and now it just seems like we're playing another Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare, where everyone's just jumping off walls, trying to do the craziest things. I mean, exploration, it is what it is. That's where I can sympathize and understand and, be in somewhat agreement with it. Overall though, as a fundamental, again, I just don't believe it belongs in the game. And as you can see right there, he was doing all that stupid movement stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I can't get you, but there's times like that where I just think to myself, you've done all that movement, maybe go back 10 seconds if you missed it, but that player was just jumping around, doing so much unnecessary movements, and it didn't help them in the slightest. So again, think of what you're actually doing, because it's just unnecessary. But the wall bounce just takes me back to Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, and I'm just not a fan of it. This was in the beta as well. Like, I can only imagine what the actual game's going to be like with the other maps, and of course, without the timeout as we are now, just slowly transitioning to the full build of Black Ops 7. But yeah, wall bounce for me, not a fan. Maybe this is your first experience. I mean, each to their own, enjoy it. For me, nah. So moving on from that, time to kill. It's the same as Black Ops 6. In my opinion, I don't know. I want to say I prefer faster time to kill CODs, to be honest. Don't know, just helps make things more smoother, I suppose, and helps keep things more clean. But I suppose if it was slower, it may be somewhat of a better opportunity to maybe combat sweats, because then they would have done their little trick, but then you can actually catch up to them because you're not dead yet. So that might be a thing that could potentially bridge the gap, and maybe I'll do a commentary, you know, dissecting it and breaking it down a bit more. I'm gonna leave it there though. I've got a little bit of time left, so I'll just wrap it up now. But of course, in the next video we will continue, and I guess this was the first highest kill game I got. But then after that I ended up getting, was it 88 kills or 80 odd kills, so you'll be seeing that in the next gameplay for sure. Got a few nice gameplays, so it's all good. Unfortunately no nuke. Highest gun streak I think I went on was a 21, 22 gun streak, so I'll probably make sure to include that as well with the gameplays. I think I've got about 22 including this gameplay here, so you ain't gotta worry about that. But I'd say it will be a mixture of Black Ops 7 beta content as well as Black Ops 6, as we have a new season, which I didn't think they would reach, to be honest. So we have a new season, 2 guns to do. Hopefully I'll try and get up the SK Live. If not, it'll just be a thing of we go again next year. Well, not next year, next month. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this gameplay. This is SK, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.